With my family due to arrive any time, I needed to test my homemade meadow sweet cordial and get it bottled up.
Right, well, I'll give this a go. It's been chilling. It smells absolutely lovely. Taste. It's nice. It tastes of meadow sweet, that's for sure. A little bit of lemon. It's quite tangy. It's also very sweet, so I think we might have to dilute it. But so not disappointing, which is excellent.
That was the first success of the day, which I was hoping would be a great finale to this trip. Time to kick back and wait for the chaos to arrive.
Oh, look. Hello. Hello. Oh. How are you doing? Are you all right?
It had been an exciting and eventful journey, but nothing makes me quite as happy as seeing my girls again.
How are you doing?
Oh my.
Right. Nice to see you.
Right.
So we're going to go and play on the beach today? Yeah? What do you want to do on the beach today?
Make sandcastles.
Make sandcastles.
A day at the beach sounded like a plan to me. The girls were desperate to splash about in the clear blue sea.
Wetsuits and boogie boards and toys all have to come too. Right. Don't let it go.
And after a little help with the roof,
That's it, well done.
we're on our way.
So how far away is this beach? Martin?
It's only about 5 miles away. It's not far.
On the way, Daddy, I saw a castle and it had pointy bits in it.
Did you? It's excellent having a van full of family, isn't it, Maggie? Except it's a bit fuller because you've brought all your boogie boards and your wetsuits and your towels and all your clothes and all your kites and your buckets and spades. But that's the way we like it, isn't it?
I couldn't believe that I was finally coming to the end of my 2,500-mile trek around the UK. I'd put my van through some serious punishment.
We've got some of the steepest hills I've been up in a while. We have a cow in the road situation. Yeah, it's a bit bumpy. We're getting there! Come on! Come on!
And whilst it might have grumbled, it never let me down.
Come on, my friend.
Until now.
Hello.
It's because the family have arrived.
It's because the family have arrived, obviously. We appear to have a little bit of a problem with the clutch, the gears, which have been getting stickier throughout the journey. And it's been getting more and more difficult to get it into gear. And just now, I think the clutch cable's broken, which rather puts paid to our day on the beach. But we'll see what we can do, shall we?
I was at a bit of a loss. Looked like the victory lap in the van had turned into an absolute disaster.
I don't really know what I'm looking for, but this is what you have to do when you've got a broken van.
I really didn't want to let the family down, so it was time to call in the reinforcements.
Well, the thing is, I've got a camper, an old '79 camper. That's, I think the clutch cable's gone. Basically, the clutch is, big bang, and the clutch is now doing nothing. It's been getting more and more difficult over the last few weeks.
To be honest, we've broken down a few times, not necessarily in this van, in other vans in the past, so we're kind of used to it.
So, nothing left to do but in true British spirit, make camp and wait to be rescued. My only hope was that there would be a quick fix for the van, and so it wouldn't be the end of the road.
What are you actually planning to do?
I mean, I'm sort of on the last leg of a tour around Britain, and I just kind of either need to get it fixed or get it to a garage or get it home or whatever, really.
If you go on the pedal again for me.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and now?
This didn't sound good.
coming out.
As I'd suspected, it wasn't good news.
I don't hold much hope for it, really.
Yeah.
If I got it back to the campsite, everybody's out of the way then, safe.
Yeah. What, and then have a look at it.
And then I'll have a look at it there.
If that's all right with you, that's cool with me, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Maggie? 2,500 miles I did, Maggie. 2,500 miles, all the way up to Scotland, all the way to Norfolk and to Yorkshire and the Lake District, and then down to Pembrokeshire, and then on the last day, what happens? But it had been an amazing trip. I'd cooked freshly picked mussels on the beach.
The dam is breached. The dinner's ready.
Fished for lobster in Northumberland.
That's our prize.
And mackerel in the Atlantic.
Wow, what's that?
I'd gone deer stalking in the Trossachs, scaled the Lakeland Peaks,
Wow. Hey, look at that. That's stunning.
got up close and personal with an amorous goat,
Oh, hello.
foraged for wild mushrooms,
That's an absolute cracker.
but above all, I'd made some amazing food with only my trusty van and the help of a few knowledgeable friends.
Doesn't get much better, does it?
So what do you think, Roger? Does it taste better when you catch it yourself?
Catch it, cook it and eat it. Absolutely.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's amazing what you can do in a camper van.
A great finish to a great day, I'd say. This has been a really great start to what I hope is going to be a great journey. All made possible by my friend over there, campervan.
Unfortunately, back at the campsite after a quick once-over, my fears were confirmed.
What do you reckon?
Truck. Have to be on a truck.
What's that? Clutch is gone.
Clutch has gone totally, it's burnt out.
Anyway,
You do?
that's fine. It's fine. Thanks for your help.
No problem.
You know, I'm sorry that you had to be the bringer of terrible
Bad
news.
tidings,
Yeah, but you know.
I may have been down, but I was not out. I was determined to cook one last meal on this trip before we called it a day. But first I'd promised the kids a day at the beach. So it was a hike down to the small bay below, leaving Gordy behind.
Well, I'm sure Martin's feeling a bit miffed about the whole thing, but that's what happens when you've got an old camper van. So I am glad I brought my car, so we have a way of getting home. So all we can do now is just have fun, really.
Do you know what? Nothing is going to get me down. A day on the beach can cure almost anything. And the fact is that the van has brought me here. It might be going home on the back of a truck, but never mind. We're still going to have fun. We're still going to have rubbish sandcastles, and we're still going to have our campervan burgers.
After fun and frolics on the beach, time to get back to the van and rustle up my last campervan meal.
So despite fate's best efforts to ruin the party, it's still going to go ahead. The show must go on.
In all the time I'd been on my campervan adventure around the UK, there was one thing that I'd yet to make. A campervan must-do, a really good homemade burger. This would definitely be a hit with the kids. To start with, I was going to make a campervan chutney as an accompaniment.
It's one of those things, you know, you could just go and buy some chutney from the shop and just have the normal chutney, or get some from a farm shop if you wanted to. But the good news is, you know, you can make your own.
These peeled tomatoes would be the base to my chutney. And whilst I was busy with these, some red onion was sizzling away on the hob.
It is going to be as fresh as a chutney can be. It only takes about half an hour to make. So once the tomatoes are done, a little bit of chilli, whole grain mustard, and the most important ingredients, sugar and white wine vinegar. White wine vinegar will give it the tang, the sugar will give it the sweetness, the chilli, and a little bit of cayenne pepper will give it a little bit of nicey spicy. Right, so I've got to let that bubble away for about 20 minutes before I do the next stage of it, so that's a good time to put the kids to work making the burgers.
First into the bowl, chopped onions, paprika and salt and pepper.
You're going to do some, Maggie?
Would that be enough?
That'll do. That'll be fine, thank you, sous chef. Now I've got to chop this thyme. You don't need too much because it's quite strong because it's fresh.
With all the ingredients in the bowl, along with the delicious beef mince, the next job for my helpers was to add an egg.
Egg. Who's going to do that?
Me.
Okay, you can crack that. You can crack that one.
Make sure there's no shell.
That's it. Now, what do you have to do now?
Mix it all together.
Get your hands in there and mix it all up. That's it.
And before you ask, yes, we'd all washed our hands first. The last step before bunging the burgers onto the griddle was to press them into the perfect shape.
Give it a pat down like that. Okay, like that. Wow, that's massive. This one is mine. It's a big man-sized burger.
With these delicious looking patties ready to go onto the griddle, there was one last tip.
Fashioned a very handy windbreak out of these boogie boards, behind which I can cower and cook. Very good tip.
Looking good. So whilst these started to sizzle away, I thought it was time to get the critics' opinion on my campervan cordial.
Right, who's going to try Daddy's special meadow sweet cordial? You okay? Before you drink it, you've got to tell me what you think it smells like and how it tastes, okay? Here we go, Maggie. Go on, then you try it first. Smell like flowers? Try it, taste it.
Nice. It tastes a bit like apple juice.
Like apple juice. Do you want to try some, Charlie? You love apple juice, don't you? No, it tastes all right.
Well,
There you go.
apple juice wasn't quite what I had in mind, but at least they liked it. It must have been the sugar. After 4 minutes on each side, the burgers looked about ready.
Well, these are looking pretty good. I think it's time they came out. Here we go.
The only thing left to do was stack them high with some slices of that local cheddar and a hearty dollop of my homemade spicy tomato chutney. Campervan burgers, my last meal on this trip and a worthy finale.
Okay.
Okay.
She left one half.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. That really is a very delicious and wonderful ending to a really amazing trip. And it kind of sums it up, really. I've got something foraged, something local, something natural, and something homemade. And it's all been done in the van. So after 2,500 miles of trouble-free motoring, the trip ends here, broken clutch, and a journey home. But really, it's only just starting.
There's more delicious